Hello children, it's Mrs Crowter here. I heard that you were doing some work on St Mary's Church and doing some observational drawings. I thought you might like to draw along with me as we do a picture of St Mary's Tower. There are some other photographs for you to choose from the Learning Hub and from some resources, but this is the one I've chosen this afternoon. I hope you're having a good day. It is a sunny day, so that's always a good start. So let's have a look. How can we begin our sketch? Well, this is the tower at St Mary's. You can see there's the door. There's a little window, and here's a little window up here. Now this might look very complicated. In fact, what I'm going to do, I'm going to start by looking at the shape. And here I can see that I've got a triangle shape. So I'm just going to put in a triangle shape. I'm looking very carefully. Yes, it's definitely a triangle shape. I can use a ruler for this part if I want to, but I can see here that I've got a sort of rectangular shape. So I think that I can put a rectangular shape just in here. I'm looking very carefully to see where my rectangle goes. I think it goes about there. I'm not putting any details in at the moment. I'm just putting in some shapes. Beneath this part here is another rectangle shape. It looks a little bit bigger, so I'm going to make that rectangle a little bit bigger. Now I'm using a ruler because it is, after all, a building, and buildings are usually full of straight lines, not always, but in this case I think they are. So I'm just putting in my other rectangle beneath that part there. So I've got the tower, I've got my first rectangle, second rectangle, and now I can pop in the part where the door is. So I'm just going to make that part a little bit wider. This part here. And this part here. So I've done the front part, putting in some shapes. Now I'm thinking about the shapes that are on the side. If you have a look at this line here is the south part of the tower, and it sort of moves in that direction, so a bit like that. There are some other lines up there as well that can help me. Some more lines just here. And I'm just going to put in these little lines just here as well. Now I'm going to have to take my rubber in a minute because I can see I've made one or two mistakes, but that's okay, because that happens sometimes when you're sketching, and that's the reason that we can use a rubber to rub out things. I just want to make the shapes as I see them on the page. I can see it resembles a tower. It's not perfect by any means, but it looks like a tower. And I can go on adding my details as I go. So I've got my circle inside my window there, and I've got an arched window just here. with a shape above it. Okay, that's the basic shape. I need to look at where my door is. Let's have a look at the door. Well, that's not very good, Mrs. Crowther. What are you thinking of? It's more symmetrical than that. That's a little better. And we can see there's 2 or 3 lines of bricks, but I'm just going to think about the details once I've put in my other shapes. And I can see, actually I've missed something out here. I can see there's another little triangle just in the shade, just there. Can you see it? Just there. It's not very large, very easy to miss. So those are my basic shapes for my tower at St Mary's. I could spend a long time looking very carefully at the edges. Can you see here? Some bricks. I could spend a long time looking at the window that fits itself in here so beautifully. But I don't want to rush it. I would like to take my time over it and spend a very, very pleasant afternoon finishing my drawings. So over to you. You have a little go and see what you can do.